listening to the official Reformed Stoic podcast, covering politics, philosophy, theology, conspiracy theories. I'm ready to get to the bottom of this life. Are you? Join Wolfgang, Sketty Squad, Purity Gang, as we strive to take dominion over this dying planet. I am Reformed Stoic, and this is my podcast. Man, let's get it. It's the podcast. It's the podcast. Let's get it. How are we stewing? Are we loving this? Let's go. Let's not crank it. Let's talk about cranking it less overall. Let's get it. All right, guys. I think we got a decent show lined up for you here today. Let's get started. Hope everybody's having a good day. We started the day off with a chill stream. Trademarks filed, guys. So, shout outs to that lawyer. I sent him an angry little email and left a message, but it got him moving and he got the shit filed. It's not over till the fat lady sings. We'll see what comes of it, but I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling about as good as I can feel about the emoji text I got earlier. I still don't really know what that was about, but they told me not to worry about it. Let's get a fire news segment going. So what do I got lined up for us today? We're going to take a peek at this new Air Force stealth bomber. A little bit about Elon Musk is dropping a bombshell about Twitter censorship of the Hunter Biden story. A little bit about this incident outside of a frat house connected to the Idaho student murders. That's kind of far out there, but, we can take a peek at that. Ye being banned from Twitter, pretty standard stuff. Figure that'll open a little bit more discussion about him. And then a little bit about religious extremism, Christianity and extremism. That should open up some discussion. I got a 10 and a half minute news segment from MSNBC for the very last thing on religious extremists, mixed Trump worship with Christian nationalism. Should open up the discussion about Christian nationalism a little bit, Trump stuff. We can kind of get geared to discuss, the next election season and whether or not Trump's going to be a part of it and all that. So let's go ahead and get the news segment rolling for the news segment. You're listening to the Reformed Stoic news segment. Let's go. Alrighty, my friends. Okay. Wow, I'm just sitting here in silence. I'm like waiting for that clip to end. And it ended. Okay. So let's get everything going. Why do I feel like the camera... I feel like we could be a little bit more like that. Sure, let's try that. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's live it. Air Force publicly reveals new stealth bomber. Let's get it.
Well, the nation's newest nuclear stealth bomber is now set to make its debut publicly after years of secret development. Initial renderings of the B-21 Raider show that that warplane resembles the black nuclear stealth bomber that it will eventually replace, the B-2 Spirit. The cost for all this, folks, for each aircraft, how about this? $692 million. The Air Force plans to buy at least 100 of them. This comes amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and both China and Russia.
All right, so it seems like America wants some fancy new stealth bombers. Very expensive. We're notorious for not slacking on our military budget. I'm sure those will be nice. Let's stealth bomber it. If they're showing this, they've probably got 2 other aircrafts in development that would blow our minds. The B-2 design that this copies is from the late 80s, early mid-90s. The design we currently have are about 20 to 40 years behind what we are shown. Yeah, they don't show us the latest shit. So we got fancier shit than this. Let's go. They're lying to us. But it's for our own safety, man. Let's get it. Thank you, Air Force. This is primitive technology compared to what they currently are developing behind doors. Yeah, everybody seems to be in agreement about that. Imagine the stuff that they have they're not telling us about. Why is every single comment saying that? Everybody's pretty woke lately. Always remember, this is what they are choosing to show us. Imagine what they are still hiding. Wow, another comment about that. Everybody's super skeptical of the Air Force today. Under $700 million beats the $2 billion price tag on the B-2. It looks the same as the old ones. You think they could have come up with a new design? Well, they probably have, according to what everybody else is saying. All right, so that's that. Elon Musk drops bombshell about Twitter's censorship of Hunter Biden story. Wow, let's get the breaking story here.
Twitter employees knew what they were doing was effed up, quote unquote. Elon Musk is dropping some Twitter files on their censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Fox Business correspondent Kelly O'Grady is here with the latest. Kelly.
Hi, good to see you, Jesse. Yeah, Elon just held everyone's Friday night hostage with these bombshells. So I kind of want to walk you through what's going on here. So journalist Matt Taibbi is painting a very long run-up. I think we're at 34 or 35 tweets. It might have changed while we're on the air, of how Twitter suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story. So here's what we know thus far. First, Twitter suppressed the story by removing links, posting warnings that it may be unsafe, and even blocked transmission of it via direct message. We learned from these tweets that that's actually a tool that was reserved for child pornography. Now, this all escalated when Kayleigh McEnany had her account locked for sharing it. There was an inquiry made from the Trump social media team that led to a lot of back and forth then between internal teams, Twitter's communications team, and their policy team. I want to bring up this tweet. It was numbered 21 in Taibbi's saga here because it shows evidence of why Twitter censored the story. So it says, per checking, the user was bounced by site integrity for violating our hacked materials policy, adding them here for further insights and guidance. Now, it gets confusing because Taibbi is saying that sources share that the government had not confirmed that hack through sources. Over the next few tweets, we're learning that Jack Dorsey was not involved, and that this decision really came down to Vijaya Gad. She's the head of legal, now fired from the company by Musk, and others in the company that were also focused on policy. There's a number of screenshots that have been shared, many showing that former head of safety Yoel Roth felt that they had moved too quickly on this and that they hadn't found enough evidence that they should have taken motion on this because they didn't really know that it was hacked. I want to bring up another tweet. This was tweet number 27 because it really drives that point home. It says, quote, to Ian's point, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? As part of our approach to addressing potentially hacked materials, we are limiting visibility of related stories on Twitter while our investigation is ongoing. But clearly they did it anyway. And so really what you're seeing in these tweets, Jesse, is this back and forth of some folks at the company saying, hey, we're moving too quickly, we shouldn't be doing this, and other folks saying, you know what, we're doing this, we're already deep in, we need to keep going, and really focusing on that hacked policy. And so more is coming out right now, but it's really this internal strife.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube.
Are you guys on Twitter? you know, all this talk about Twitter's got me thinking maybe Reform Stoic should get a presence on there. Let's go. Is it hard to make like shit posting accounts? We should get some Sketty Squads, some Council of Wolfgang, Reform Stoic Debater, #1 Theologian, Purity Gang, Positivity Gang. We should get lots of like Twitter accounts going, guys. Let's take over Twitter. Let's go. I'll get that going this weekend. It's the weekend. I am going to... I already have a Reform Stoic Twitter. I did it like a couple of things with it, but if that one's no good, I'll make a brand new one. I am going to get up on Twitter. I'm going to make it super cozy. I'm going to talk about comfy, cozy movies and whatever movie I'm watching, whatever show I'm watching, and be like, this show's cozy, this show's comfy. This is a good band. This album is awesome. I'm going to try to keep it positive. I don't ever want to, like, outrage post on Twitter. Let's Twitter it. Need to read any comments here. Elon reveals what everyone already knew. Right. This has been known for some time. Elon just confirmed it with proof. Okay. Moving on, let's try to get a nice, healthy 1-hour segment today, guys. If we run out of videos here, we will continue our journey. We will expand on some topics. Somebody told me to check the Discord. Everything's running kind of slow right now on my computer. I don't really want to try to open Discord right now. But if there's a link in there that you wanted me to watch on stream, if you could just like say the name of it in chat. Let's go ahead and do this. Inside Edition. Is incident outside of frat house connected to Idaho student murders?
A new twist in the slaying of those 4 University of Idaho students. We're learning now that just after 3 in the morning, police got a call about a disturbance outside a frat house, just a short walk from the crime scene. The murders happened not long after that call. But is there a connection? Jim Array reports.
A mysterious 911 call sent cops rushing to the street the night the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. Police logs from that fateful night show a disturbance in this field outside the Sigma Chi fraternity. The Moscow, Idaho Police daily activity log reveals officers responded to an alcohol offense at 3:01 a.m. That's right around the time police say the murders were committed. How close is that frat house to the murder scene? Let me show you. Here's the frat house. You walk across the street and right through these apartment buildings. You then continue up this narrow path, and then you walk up these wooden stairs. And there you are, right at the house. We spoke with Brian Enton, senior national correspondent for the cable news channel News Nation, which is airing a 1-hour special on the case Sunday.
There's a lot of fraternity and sorority houses, and an alcohol call wouldn't be out of the norm. But it's still just weird to think about the fact that the police were so close to this house around the time the murders were happening.
In a statement today to Inside Edition, police said the incident is unrelated to the murders. The frat house is also under the microscope because 2 of the victims, Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle, partied there that night. Investigators are also revealing there was a 6th roommate who lived in the house who wasn't home that night. There was Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Madison, the 2 surviving roommates who slept through the attack, and now the 6th young lady whose name we are withholding. Detectives are aware of a 6th person listed on the lease at the residence, but do not...
Dude, that guy was a Chad with like... Was that just one Chad with a bunch of women? Cool, dude. Well, this guy's life is a lot better than ours. Damn, one of those chicks was really thick. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Wait. Wait for it. Here we go. Where was it? Oh, it was
2 of the victims, Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle, partied there that night.
They partied there, bro.
Investigators are also revealing there
You guys were probably cranking it, and he was partying.
was a 6th roommate who lived in the house who wasn't home that night. There was Ethan, Xana, Kaylee.
Yeah, Kaylee, damn. Was up, Kaylee.
And Madison, the 2 surviving roommates who slept through the attack, and now the 6th young...
Look at this, dude. Damn, brah. This was a tragedy, brah. Is he the guy who died? Wait, is he the guy who died? Who died here? He died? Did these... I don't want to be insensitive to a murder. Damn, what a tragedy. This guy was a chatty, dude. Rip chatty.
lady whose name we are withholding. Detectives are aware of a sixth person listed on the lease at the residence, but do not believe that individual was present during the incident, a police statement says. There were scenes of raw emotion at a memorial service for all 4 victims at a church in Idaho. Among the mourners, Madison Mogan's boyfriend, Jake.
I know she's in heaven, and I can't wait to see her again.
Also classmates and sorority sisters.
My heart aches knowing I can't see her again.
Okay. It's sad. We get it. I don't want to be insensitive. This kind of stuff is not really... We get it. People died. It was sad. This is not really like what we watch on the podcast, brah. Sorry, brah. Anyway. Rip Chatty. Ye banned from Twitter following anti-Semitic post. Here we go.
Tonight, a new phase of fallout in the stunning, incendiary wake of Kanye West's actions. The artist, now simply known as Ye, once again banned from Twitter after another anti-Semitic post. This time, a now deleted image of a Star of David enveloping a swastika.
The large political project by white supremacists and neo-Nazis.
Nothing happened. I just really don't like watching people like cry on the news. I make like jokes here, and sometimes I try to be like witty, and I don't want to like accidentally like joke about a shooting, you know? I was pointing out that the guy was a Chad, and like that one of the girls was thick, and like people like died and got shot. And sorry guys, let's just there's so many shootings all the time, you know? Just we don't need to lean on it. There was a shooting. It's sad. Moving on. Let's make jokes about Kanye. Everybody jokes about Kanye.
They've been undergoing for the last 2 decades or so on the internet. That has reached a new apex for them. They have found a new celebrity messenger to push their messages.
West's account suspended Thursday night. Twitter owner Elon Musk confirming the ban, writing, "I tried my best. Despite that, he again violated our rule against incitement to violence. Account will be suspended."
I think the surprising part is that Elon Musk found his line. He found his content moderation line.
The ban comes barely 2 months after West's account was reinstated following another suspension for the same violation, following a similar anti-Semitic tirade, triggering the loss of several lucrative partnerships. Musk says the account was restored by Twitter before he took ownership. Hours before the latest post, West, clad in a black mask, gave a lengthy interview to Alex Jones where he spread more anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, praised Nazis, and admired Adolf Hitler.
I see good things about Hitler also.
Jones even pushed back, saying he disagreed, prompting Ye to cut him off.
I like Hitler.
The artist appearing next to 24-year-old white nationalist Nick Fuentes after the pair made headlines for a now infamous Mar-a-Lago dinner with former President Donald Trump. Tonight, condemnation from all corners of the country and both sides of the aisle saying enough is enough.
It's not just that Ye doesn't care about the Jewish people. It's that his consistent and repugnant anti-Semitism can lead others to a path of violence.
Symbols of hatred sparking a chorus of outrage. Steve Patterson, NBC News.
A chorus of
Thanks
outrage.
for watching our...
Okay, you know you're off the chain if Alex Jones has to tone you down and Elon puts you in Twitter jail. I love how oftentimes someone being bigoted is just being insensitive or something else like that, and then Kanye straight up posts a Star of David enveloping a swastika. Yeah, I think he's being really edgy. There's things that are just unnecessary to say. I've said many times that I agree with Hitler's view on democracy, but there's a lot of people who know that democracy is a sham. You know, all the way back to Aristotle, he knew that democracy was a sham. It's not something that needs to be said. It's bad optics. It's something that can like ruin your reputation. So yeah, I think now's a good time to, you know, just there's no reason to say anything edgy about Hitler. It's bad optics. Moving on. I'm a religious extremist. Laura from the Brudderhof. I don't have any idea what this is about. Let's see what's going on here.
I was really surprised to learn that according to a poll recently conducted by Barna Group, at least 1 out of 5 Americans would consider me a religious extremist.
Dude, the captions every time, holy crap.
Because of what I wear on my head. Okay, I'm really not interested in talking right now about head coverings. You can check out an article my friend Noran wrote about that, which is linked below in the video description. But the results of the study were surprising, at least to me. It shows that to many Americans, religious practices and beliefs that were considered normal.
Yo, she sounds like Luann from King of the Hill. It's Luann from King of the Hill, let's go.
A generation or two ago are now lumped together with terroristic violence. For instance, a majority of Americans think it is very to somewhat extreme to preach a religious message in a public place, teach your children basic moral values, or even protest government policies that conflict with their religion. Very, very uncool. When you call someone an extremist, you're saying they are so far removed from what's normal and ordinary that they are at best not good for society and at worst a threat. Help! How did this happen? Well, obviously, norms of behavior have changed pretty radically in the past few decades due to secularization. As our culture modernizes and rationalizes, religion, which, by the way, one of our founding fathers, James Madison, called the duty we owe our Creator, doesn't seem logical anymore and even seems extreme to a growing cohort. That's something I think every American needs to be concerned about. We've gotten to a place where people who want to live out their faith in the public square and who try to live according to their conscience are marginalized and seen as backward and bigoted. That's silly, and it's also dangerous. Now, on the one hand, the fact that Christianity is no longer mainstream is a good thing. We should never have been conforming to the world in the first place. If we take the Word of God seriously, it means a radical transformation of our lives. It means recognizing that there is such a thing as sin, and the moral relativism which everyone's rushing to embrace is deeply flawed and ultimately damaging to human dignity. That's on the one hand. On the other, I think that no matter what we believe or don't believe, we can still live side by side and care for one another as human beings without name-calling. And it's my hope that in my encounters with others, I'm a witness to the fact that a life transformed by Christ is not a scary extreme and maybe even something to be desired. Wait, do I really look like an extremist?
Bro. Based? Based? Wow. What is she? Brudhoff member? What is Brudderhoff? Is that some sort of like a Christian cult or something? Dude, based. Where are these kind of women, bro? These are the kind of women like we're all trying to meet. Man. You live without worldly drama. That is extreme. Extremely awesome. Now tell us how you really feel, Laura. I couldn't resist. Yes, Laura, the secular world is messed up, and I wish I had become a Christian long before I did. You give us hope and humanity through Jesus and the way you live your life. Keep up the good work. Love your channel. I am an atheist. However, I am refreshed by your life choices and find you kind and caring. I don't feel that we all have to have the same beliefs to care about others and respect them. We don't need to label ourselves to exist in harmony. You're a lovely, eloquent young woman. Don't let others' opinions sway you or even concern you. Just keep being you. Your gentle strength is an inspiration. Man, women are so good to each other. Oh, that's not true, but when women are good to each other, you just always see women like, yes, girlfriend, yes, queen. Don't let anybody ever tell you you're not beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Okay, this is going to kill 10 minutes here. And if anybody has requests for what to watch in the chat, let me know. Things don't seem very poppin' today. We at least got 10 more minutes. Maybe I can think of a couple more things to watch after this, but kind of a slow week. No more Wednesdays, guys. Podcast is going to be Monday and Friday from now on until further notice. Let's get it.
The fact that we even have a Senate chaplain and a House chaplain as well is kind of a weird thing. It's a bit of a contradiction in a country in which separation of church and state is a constitutional hallmark. Even James Madison came to believe it wasn't entirely kosher, but a chaplain opened every day of congressional business, starting with the Continental Congress in 1774, and the tradition has continued. The way this contradiction has been resolved over the years is that whatever his or her specific denomination, personally, and they've all been Christian, the chaplain prays and leads in a non-sectarian ecumenical way. Also, there are regular guest chaplains, imams, rabbis, Hindu clerics, even the Dalai Lama. Rather than imposing a particular religion on the Congress, the House and Senate chaplaincies are used to reflect America's multi-faith democracy. A couple of miles away from the Capitol on January the 6th, Donald Trump's Save America rally also started with a prayer, but that prayer was a little different.
Let every adversary against democracy, against freedom, against life, against liberty, against justice, against peace, against righteousness be overturned right now in the name of Jesus. Let justice be done. Let justice be done. Let justice be done. Let we, the people, have the assurance of a fair and a just election. I thank you for President Trump. I put a hedge of protection around him. I secure his purpose. I secure his destiny. I secure his life, God. And I thank you that he will walk in a holy boldness and a wisdom, God, and that you will go before him. You will be his rear guard, and you will go in front of him this day and every day, God.
That was Paula White, Donald Trump's spiritual advisor and White House advisor, delivering a very Trumpian opening prayer on January the 6th. Less, let us be guided by your wisdom, O Lord. More, protect Donald Trump and smite his enemies. There was a lot of this brand of Christian ideology on display that day. Before marching to the Capitol, members of the far-right, violent Proud Boys knelt in the street and prayed in the name of Jesus to restore their, quote, value systems and to give them divine protection in what they were about to do. In the crowd attacking the Capitol were crosses and signs saying things like Jesus 2020 and Armor of God. Some told reporters they were there to join a fight of good versus evil. And when insurrectionists broke into the Senate chamber, in addition to rifling through senators' papers and scrawling messages to Vice President Pence, they prayed.
Jesus Christ, we invoke your name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving the inspiration needed to these police officers to allow us in this building, to allow us to exercise our rights, to allow us to send a message.
And this is a negative thing, you guys. It's a grift. These people are grifters, grifting on Christ, grifting on Christianity. I would say that these people are going way too far, and a lot of churches are kind of just being fence sitters. There's a lot of the mentality in the churches. I don't want to like generalize churches, but there's a lot of churches that are very much just trying to save face in these times and being like a polar opposite to this. These guys look like idiots. A lot of the people in the churches are trying to keep people from taking any sort of action at all. I think we're living in times when some things need to be said and maybe some sort of public action needs to be taken. I mean, peaceful protest. When you're putting your movement out there and doing it in the name of Christ, you need to think about your optics. Gee, weren't we just talking about this a second ago with Kanye going on about how he loves Hitler and loves Nazis? And yeah, he's doing that in the name of Christ. And then these clowns are doing this in the name of Christ. It seems like there's a lot of right-wing grifters who do cringy things in the name of Christ. Interesting.
The tyrants, the communists, and the globalists, that this is our nation, not theirs. Yes. That we will not allow the American way of the United States of America to go down. Thank you for allowing the United States of America to be reborn. Thank you for allowing us to get rid of the communists, the globalists, and the traitors within our government. We love you and we thank you. In Christ's holy name we pray. Amen.
The problem isn't that the January 6th insurrection and Trump's whole demagogic movement are imbued with Christianity, one of the world's great religions. No. Remember, the United States House and Senate have chaplains who are Christian and deliver prayers every day. And the night before January the 6th, Reverend Raphael Warnock, the longtime pastor at Atlanta's Ebenezer Baptist Church, was elected senator from Georgia. Reverend Warnock and the chaplains are perfectly capable of being very Christian and also existing very happily within the multi-faith and multi-ethnic democracy represented by the United States Congress. None of them are storming the Capitol. No, this particular brand of Christianity that is linked up with the Trump movement is a different kind of thing. Christian nationalism, the belief that the United States should be ruled by Christians and by a certain narrow interpretation of evangelical Christian values.
Well, the country should be ruled by Christians, and that's the problem. These guys are blowing it. You guys, this very well could be an organized attack on like the real Christian movement. They're blowing it. They're blowing it. All right. Well, honestly, guys, I'm just not going to force the stream to be longer than it needs to be on a short day. So we're pretty much just going to get through this and wrap it up. I'm down to check out the Kanye trailer thing.
Is not a new thing. The journalist Michelle Goldberg wrote a book about the rise of Christian nationalism back in 2006. But what's new is the fusion of that ideology with the potent political movement of pro-Trump, stop-the-steal election denialism. Evangelical leaders preaching to their congregations about the stolen election and praising the January 6th attack as a righteous revolution to restore America. It's also about the fusion of religion and race, too. A poll released in November by the Public Religion Research Institute found that 60% of white evangelical respondents believe the 2020 election was stolen, a far higher share than other Christian groups of any race. The journalist Sarah Posner has written a book on how white Christian nationalists powered Trump's presidency. She put it in this way in an essay this week for Talking Points Memo, quote, "A movement that elevated Trump to messianic status was able to convince millions that satanic forces had robbed God's man in the White House of his anointed perch as the restorer of America's white Christian heritage. Their duty as patriotic spiritual warriors was to go to..."
I got mixed feelings about this because it's like, well, is it bad to be white? Is it bad to be a white Christian? I mean, they're kind of like villainizing white Christianity and, oh, to go back to white Christian heritage. I mean, would that really be so bad? Basically, just like, I don't even want to go down that road, but yeah, I got mixed feelings about this. Like, I just pointed out that all these people are cringy right-wing grifters doing really cringy things in the name of Christ. But then also what this guy's saying, you know, he's just kind of like pointing at these guys and then saying, oh, they're trying to bring back white Christian heritage. Like, so we can't really ever have that back anywhere, huh? Like, and everybody, and now what I'm saying is bad is like, I mean, is it bad to be white and a Christian? And are people like monitoring how white and Christian things are? Like, this is really dangerous. This is like a neighborhood having a fucking potluck and it's 90% white Christians. It's like, are white Christians allowed to exist? Are white Christian values allowed to exist? I mean, yeah, these Trump people are cringe, but I'm pretty uncomfortable with the way they're talking about white Christian values. And really, Christian values are just Christian values. They're not white Christian values. They're just Christian values, but yeah, this country has a long history of white Christians. I mean, is that a problem? Are they allowed to exist? That's kind of how I feel about this right now.
To battle on his behalf. Need an example of what that battle looks like even now? Perhaps you've seen this viral clip of Tennessee pastor and January the 6th attendee Greg Locke this week.
I'm to the place right now, if you vote Democrat, I don't even want you around this church. You can get out. You can get out, you demon. You can get out, you baby butchering.
It's overall this kind of stuff, guys, that's kind of like sending me back to where I think I'd go to Catholic Mass at this point. Now, there's definitely lots and lots and lots of Baptist churches and evangelical churches that are not like this. But, yeah, this is just kind of one of the examples of the kind of thing that's making me think Catholic Mass isn't a bad way to go. If you're a Democrat, you can get out. This is not the kind of church I'd want to go to.
election thief. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. I don't care how mad that makes you. You get pissed off as you want to. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat in this nation. They are God-denying demons that butcher babies and hate this nation. Bunch of devils. I'm sick of it. They want to talk about the insurrection. Let me tell you something. You ain't seen the insurrection yet. You keep on pushing our buttons, you low-down sorry compromisers. You God-hating communist America. You'll find out what an insurrection is, because we ain't playing your garbage. We ain't playing your mess. My Bible says that the church of the living God is an institution that the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And the Bible says that we'll take it by force. That's what the Bible says.
Wow. Let me ask you this. If a Muslim imam in a mosque said that, looked into the camera and said, you ain't seen an insurrection yet, and we'll take it by force. That's what the Quran says.
Well, I mean, Muslims strap bombs to children and use them as weapons to kill as many people as possible. So you could absolutely never compare that to the things that Muslims do. But anyway, that's a different discussion.
What do you think would happen to that imam? Seriously, what would happen to him? I think we all know. Look, that clip of Locke speaking at his tax-exempt church is one of the most bonkers, most disturbing, most extreme things I have seen in recent years. And I say that as someone who's spent the past 7 years covering the likes of Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. But here's the thing. Thousands of people attend some of Greg Locke's sermons in person, millions online. He's one of more than a dozen pastors who've participated in this weird Stop the Steal roadshow that features General Michael Flynn and Roger Stone and Eric Trump holding events at churches across the country. And when you're calling Democrats demons and devils, it's like more and more Republicans calling Democrats pedophiles. Devils and demons and pedophiles can't be allowed to win elections. They are by definition ungodly and illegitimate. And anything you do to stop them is justified. Enter the newly elected Republican nominee for governor of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but you have the exact same template on the left, that everybody on the right is a bunch of Nazis and white supremacists and white Christian nationalists, and you can do anything in your power to stop them. Anybody who votes for Trump is a Nazi, and you can do anything to stop them. I mean, it's the exact same thing on both sides, dude. So, and you know, both sides of the coin are cringe. People need to see beyond the two-party system, bro.
Doug Mastriano. He kind of fuses together the religious and political sides of this movement. He was the Trump campaign's #1 ally in the Pennsylvania state legislature in their effort to get Joe Biden's win in Pennsylvania overturned. He marched to the Capitol on January the 6th. Running for governor, he campaigned at events like Pennsylvania for Christ, whose organizers claim their goal is to reestablish the kingdom of God in Pennsylvania. And at an event called Patriots Arise for God, Family, and Country, where he was gifted a David sword for, quote, fighting for our religious rights in Christ Jesus.
Based.
We have the power of God with us. We have Jesus Christ that we're serving here. He's guiding and directing our steps. And in November, we're going to take our state back. My God will make it so.
Doug Mastriano now has the chance to try to fulfill that prophecy after winning the Republican nomination for governor on Tuesday. Listen to how he described the path ahead at his victory celebration that night.
1 Corinthians 1:27 gives us all hope. God uses the foolish to confound the wise and the weak to confound the strong, right? That's his story. And he uses people like you and me to change history. I always like to say when we make his story our story, we can change history. The future for Pennsylvania under Josh Shapiro is an oppressive regime, not unlike East Germany, where your freedoms will be snatched away. So let's walk in freedom. Let's choose this day. Let's choose this day to serve the Lord.
If Doug Mastriano is elected governor, he'll appoint the Secretary of State who will oversee the 2024 presidential election in swing state Pennsylvania. A Governor Mastriano would have to personally sign off on the 2024 election results in his state. If he thinks he is just a tool being used for God's plan, and if God's plan is to save Pennsylvania from the oppressive, godless regime of the Democrats, what wouldn't he do to make sure no demonic Democrat ever wins Pennsylvania?
Cringe. I mean, yeah, I point out that I think that those are terrible optics, and, you know, that guy's sermon was, like, cringe, and, I mean, boasting up the Republican Party like they're Christian saviors, it's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous, but if those, like, screaming, yelling evangelical Baptists got their way, I mean, I basically agree with it. Like, yeah, I agree with what they're saying. I just think their optics are bad. Or I agree with what they're saying in terms of, like that the left is baby killers and they're degenerate. I mean, I have conservative values, but I just think that their optics are wrong. Ultimately, Republican neocons, you know, they get you, like, celebrating the American system. They get you this celebrating the American war machine, the American capitalist blood money war machine. So, yeah, it's complicated. I still like those people way better than the left, though. I've never been more terrified of the state of American politics as I am today. It is truly frightening. Nobody cares. Get Ma God in the face. Yeah, so somebody said, let's watch the Genius trailer. Sure. I'm about to wrap it up, fam. It's Friday night. Deeply troubling. I'm deeply troubled. Genius, a Kanye trilogy official trailer.
Hey, Kanye, how would you describe your album?
Man, I feel like it's a breath of fresh air.
Then we got my man Kanye. Tracks, man, hold on.
Well, I first put the camera on this album becoming a producer back in '98.
Southtown made it down here, boy.
I knew he was destined for greatness.
This is Cootie right here. He shot all the footage.
The goal was to see how far his dreams would take him, but I had no idea what life would take us next.
Let me explain my side of it, though. He gonna be one of the greats, trust me, the next greats. And what's fucked up is that when a nigga become great, people get hate. Screaming, Jesus!
And you need an angel to watch over you.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Ain't nobody never broke down. That's no man. You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
It felt like the bigger Kanye got, the further we grew apart. But there was more to Kanye's story that I needed to tell.
I'm interested in why you believe all of this has happened.
I just think it was in God's plan. I think he just has me here for a reason, that I have something to say. There's people that might be better programmers, better rappers. Where I think I really won is I had the heart. If I do what I'm supposed to do, people gonna look back like, man, remember dude used to just make beats for people?
I would like to congratulate you on the good job that you did with me.
I just thought it was the music. I didn't know.
Yay, West, hot, fire.
Y'all, this 21 years in the making.
I'm not gonna say it's not a way that I could fail, but hopefully with God's blessings, it shouldn't be no way for me to lose, really.
All right. I mean, it's kind of weird timing. Yeah, Netflix does this big thing about Kanye, and now they're not really going to want to be saying much positive stuff about Kanye. My thoughts here, my words of wisdom to leave you with is I feel like we're like this class, you know, the millennials. It was hard for the millennials to get anywhere in the life. It was hard for the Zoomers. We're very competitive because, yes, some millennials made it, and they're like, no, you're just a loser. You're just an incel. I worked hard and I made it. You're a loser. It's your fault. But I feel like so many people right now don't have enough going on. What the hell is that? Shut up, whatever that is. Nope. Nope. I hate autoplay. Autoplay pisses me off. Okay. My instincts are telling me that I need to be bigger than this. This is sucking up so much attention. Nick Fuentes has a huge following. Donald Trump has a huge following. Alex Jones has a huge following. Ye West has a huge following. And they're all like combining their followings. And they're sucking everybody into this trap, dude. Everybody's got their eyes on this shit. And it's like, I don't know why. Because this is some sort of sophisticated shit. Kanye doing this. Something feels artificial about it. And something's just telling me to just not get sucked in. Like, it's not like, oh, let's watch every 10-hour Kanye documentary and let's just, like, really get into Kanye right now. It's like, I don't know. Something's telling me to back away. Something's telling me to back away. He's a heavy distraction, and he's looking like an idiot. I think you could kind of try to defend him before the Alex Jones interview. He's being careless. He's just saying shit that triggers people, and you want to be like, oh, he's just making a point about free speech, and he's not that smart, bro. Kanye's not really, like, it's not the real deal, bro. Nick Fuentes isn't the real deal. Alex Jones isn't the real deal. None of those people are the real deal. And there's a lot of fireworks and big shows. 4chan's talking about it. The news is talking about it. Alex Jones is talking about it. Everybody's talking about this shit. And my instincts are saying, do not sink both of your feet into these waters, because it's about to suck everybody in, dude. Mic check, mic check. My microphone is loud, dude. My microphone is turned all the way up, and I'm looking at the levels, and they're fine. But I would just not put a lot of stock into, like, trying to defend Kanye or anything like that. He's not looking good. He's not well-spoken, and something's going on right now. This is a big happening. I don't understand exactly what it is, but I don't trust it. And like we've said over here many, many, many times, there's a great big establishment that runs the world that goes far, far, far beyond the JQ. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. It looks like we made it about, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, close to an hour. That's about the goal. Pretty quiet last couple of streams or podcasts. We are moving to the new schedule. Mondays and Fridays, same time as always. Yeah, I'm going to get a Twitter rocking if you guys want to add me on Twitter. Or I guess people already found my Twitter, so I'll see what's up with that Twitter maybe and get it rolling a little bit. God bless you, my friends. Thank you for being here. Have a good weekend. Try to relax. I took a bath before the podcast, and it definitely was nice. It got me nice and relaxed and recharged. Well, this is actually my 66th podcast, and you're the only person who's complained about the sound, so it's definitely a you problem, brother, dude. Nobody else is complaining about the sound. This is my 66th podcast, so sounds like you got a huge stick up your ass, dude.